A very good afternoon, both of you, Akanksha and Dr. Bansal. It is our acute privilege, I would say, and totally honored to have both of you on this very first episode of Play It Forward. We are doing this to commemorate the International Day of Sports for Development and Peace, which is on 6th of April. And the idea is this year's theme is especially critical because it's about leveling the playing field. And it is sports for social inclusion. This is the theme for the International Day this year. And it couldn't have been more appropriate for Magic Bus to do an episode, first episode on Play It Forward, because for last 26 years, Magic Bus has focused on sports for development and use sports-based pedagogies, as well as looked at sports as an entry point, as an enabler, as an equalizer. And several times it has also meant empowerment in the context of acute gender equality and gender barriers. So, thank you once again for taking the time. I'm going to quickly introduce you to our audience, both of you. To start with, we have Dr. A.K. Bansal, who is the Dronacharya Awardee, the former Indian hockey team coach, and I must mention that it is not just the men's team, he's also coached the women's team. He's a prominent figure in Indian sports, known for his contribution to hockey coaching and sports management, and he's also the president of the Physical Education Foundation of India. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Miss Akanksha Sharma, and I think there is so much that you've done across so many different places that I'm going to try and keep it brief, but please feel free to speak about that work when you share your experience. Akanksha is Vice President Sustainability Middle East, North Africa, and Indian Subcontinent at DP World. DP World, as many of our viewers will already know, is a global leader in logistics and trade operations. She has diverse experience ranging from private sector, social sector, and the UN. She's also designed and implemented programs on education and skilling, healthcare, and gender. And I was most struck by the fact that you've also written on social good and the bigger impact that sustainability work can have, and especially a lot of writing on climate change. So, very honored to have you here, Akanksha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bansal, over to you, and I'm going to ask you something very interesting from all the work that you've done over the years in coaching on hockey, especially. But I'm
Yeah.
sure that you've interacted with a number of athletes and sports personalities and sports people. My first question to you is, how do you see the transformative potential of sport? As in, is that something that you feel is being sufficiently recognized now more so than before? And what is the ways in which that we can enhance this transformative potential of sport? And while I say this, I'm very mindful that sport is not just being played for excellence. Sport is being played by so many different people. It is everyday sport. It is being physically active, and it is going beyond just sports for excellence. So, where do you see the transformative potential as sport when sport is seen in this fashion?
See, I put more than 40 years in active sports.
Hmm.
It is I am talking about my coaching career. And
Yeah.
before that, of course, about 15 years as a player I put. And
Hmm.
I started with my playing career with various games, of course, hockey,
Hmm.
football, cricket. And it happens, naturally it happens when you are young, you are in the school, then those who are fit child,
Hmm.
they used to be put in various games,
Hmm.
specifically our days. They used
Right.
to be teachers putting them, okay, you play this, you play this, you play this, wherever school team or college team requires, they been put. And
Right.
like that, we come across various games. And later on, of course, like me also, after my 10th class, I specifically got this started hockey playing, and then professional hockey players. Then
Hmm.
later on, I started my career as coach. Of course, that was not earlier, it was not decided, but all of a sudden it happened, and I became coach of hockey. So that time, and today, it is a lot of difference between both the perspectives. Earlier, when we used to play, it was only just for our passion. We used to play sports, and that time vision was not that I will be a professional in the sport, I will be a coach or whatever it is. That time vision was not like that. But now, if you see, vision is from the very beginning. Parents even putting their words to the sport, okay, because it is awareness, it is visible widely. What is the career prospects in the game?
Also pivot to a point that I was anyways going to check with you. And since you mentioned shooting, especially, see, given the focus on transformative potential, social inclusion, surmounting gender barriers that women don't get access to several of those opportunities sometimes early in the early years, what we also see on the other side is that so many of our hockey players come from Jharkhand, from very remote places. So many of our wrestler shooters come from Haryana. So many of our kabaddi players come from Maharashtra, and that too from rural areas. So what I'm trying to say is that in promoting and in getting a lot more people access and opportunity, how does sport now create a level playing field so that social inclusion can be actively promoted? Like, is there ways and means that this can be done?
I'll give you a very good example for this because I am very fortunate that at the start of my career, I started my active coaching career from Odisha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a belt called Chota Nagpur, if you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Earlier it was provincial area, Chota Nagpur. And Chota Nagpur is comprising of uh, border area of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Odisha.
Yes.
Earlier, Jharkhand was part of Bihar.
Mm.
Now it is separate state. But three states bordering area is known as Chota Nagpur.
Mm.
And I was working in Sundargarh district, most backward area of Odisha,
Yeah.
and backward and tribal area of Odisha.
Yes.
And I had opportunity to work in even Jharkhand, Ranchi and all, which is adjoining cities. So there you will find 99.9% hockey players, as you told, 99.9% hockey players are tribal players. And
Yes.
if you see their condition there, of course, now it is little bit they are up as far as their social conditions are concerned. But
Mm.
when I was there, it was difficult for them to even meet two meals.
Mm.
And and once hockey was started, and
Mm.
hockey, of course, hockey started long back there, but it was not of that stage. Even if you may be knowing it, first
Mm.
Olympic captain of Indian team was a tribal player. First,
Yeah.
in 1924, when Major Dhyanchand was also in the
Yes.
team, the captain was Jaipal Singh Munda from
Yeah.
Jharkhand
Yeah.
of Indian team in Olympic.
Right.
So, of course, their roots are there. They started it. But how they started it, that is also a thing. As you said, social condition and all. The players, those who were not even finding two meals, when they started playing hockey, whether boys or girls, they found very good career in this through hockey, through maybe athletic also, and some are from football.
Yeah.
And
So,
from
Doctor,
there, and from
yeah.
there, I will name particularly. If you heard about Dilip Tirki, who was the captain of Indian hockey team, and
Hmm.
fortunately a student of mine from 9 years of his age,
Hmm.
he went up to Padam Shri. He was awarded Padam Shri, Arjun Award. He was the senior manager in Indian Airlines. Then later on he resigned and he was the member of parliament. Now he is the president of Hockey India Federation, which is running the hockey. Like that, so many
Yeah.
examples are there. Now, women, as far as women is concerned, you can count women Salima Tete, who
Hmm.
is the captain of Indian hockey team now. If you
Hmm.
remember the name Hima Das, she was from Assam.
Oh, she was from
And
Assam. Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
Assam. And from very, very humble background,
Yes.
she was not getting the shoes even for running. And
Hmm.
now Adidas is making one specific brand named Hima. You just, this is the social changes.
Yeah.
and and so many players, they are holding so many good places in, you can say, our big companies, oil companies and all. It is because of sports only.
So, on that note, I'd like to check with you that yes, there are players from humble backgrounds, but I think it is about the opportunity and the access. I know that DP World has been taking a lot of initiative to even make critical investment in sports. Would you like to share a little bit about those initiatives and how they are helping to unlock talent, unlock potential that may not be always visible or may not always find that first opportunity that is required for them to actually shine and come forward?
Thank you for your question. I think it's important to invest in access and not just infrastructure because building stadiums, for example, is not just enough. It's important to invest in accessible spaces, which are like community fields, it could be playgrounds in schools, safe zones in underserved geographies, especially in rural areas where access to sports is still, unfortunately, a luxury. So, that's my first point that we need to really invest in access to sports facilities more. Second point is to link it with more and more outcome based, which is linked to employment or employability. So, integration with education and employability is a great, enabler for outcome based sports investments. And also it would help in reducing school dropouts, build confidence in students, especially girl students and women, and also prepare youth for skilling and livelihood pathways. My third, but last, not the least point, uh, is viewing sports as a high impact tool to build agency and resilience in young people, especially. So, because it fosters leadership, and therefore, especially those from underserved communities, we must invest in focusing on structured sports based interventions that go beyond physical fitness to foster life skills. So I think these are very important perspectives when we talk about investment in sports.
And I think a final point, what I'd check with you is you're a part of a large organization, DP World, that already does a lot of work on sports, but specifically also in unlocking its transformative potential. Um, in terms of how the company would like to make sports more inclusive, what are some of the initiatives that you are planning to take?
Thank you very much. I think when it comes to making it level playing field, what's most important is making sports safe and gender sensitive because true inclusion begins with safety and girls need more secure environment, female coaches and supportive community ecosystems to participate more confidently. And we must shift the social norm that views sport as a male domain. This has already begun changing, but we need more systemic changes. Also, what's important is to decentralize leadership in sports. We need more grassroots voices in decision making, in federations, in training bodies, CSR programs. So that will really help in driving structural inclusion.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bansal and Akanksha. It has been truly insightful, and we couldn't have had better speakers for our very first episode, our very first segment of Play It Forward. We will continue to do many more segments. The idea of Play It Forward is exactly what it means. All of us have to come together to level the playing field. We have to make sports more inclusive, and which also means bringing opportunities and access to all. and ensuring that sports is about skills as much as it is about physical activity and active sports, and everyone, irrespective of their age, uh, or their access, or where they are located, or where they come from, or their socioeconomic background, should be able to engage in physical activity and sports and participate in active sports even as a part of education in school. So, on that note, we are wrapping up this segment of Play It Forward. Thank you, both of you. And I'm sure both of you, in your own way, will continue to contribute to this process and play it forward by making sports really transformative in achieving what each individual wants to achieve, and which is to reach his or her fullest potential. Thank you, both of you. Much appreciated.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.